Truly was a long way to love her, eh?
Long way and a long time waiting. Like, I got married to my wife after a year. Boom, let's go. He was like 5 years. I was like, I can't do that. He thinks everything like very methodically over, and I kind of jump in with 2 feet. So
Honestly, sometimes it's good to just jump all in rather than like wait.
I can't really live my life outside of that rhythm.
Now, I am here at Media Row with Ty Hunter from the Hunter Brothers. Ty, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am loving the fact that I'm standing in front of a big Christmas tree and that I'm here with you. So this is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. I know the Christmas tree was a festive touch, wasn't it?
It is. And it's a nice Christmas tree. Some are very sparse. This one's very full. So
Yes, exactly.
I love it.
It's very full. So CCMAs, you're here. How exciting is that?
Awesome. I feel like I haven't seen my country music family for 2 years, and it's because I haven't. So this is fantastic. Love the people all the time. So I'm just really excited to be here, period. It's always an amazing experience.
Well, being around country artists is so much fun, not being biased or anything like that.
I mean, yeah, you got to be a little bit biased. That's okay. That's okay.
Now you and your group are nominated for Group of the Year and PRS Guitars Video of the Year for Hard Dirt. So congratulations for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So talking about festiveness.
Yes.
Okay, So you guys just released a Christmas album, which Christmas is the best time of the year, isn't it, Ty?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a big deal in our family. So
Yes, of course. So it's titled Joy to the World. Whose idea was it to release this holiday album?
It's actually been an accumulative effort over a lot of years because we've been asked to do a Christmas album I don't even know how many times, and I guess it works well for the harmonies and everything, and because Christmas was a big deal growing up in our household, I think it was kind of a collective thing. We released Joy to the World as a single like 4 or 5 years ago, and then released Oh Holy Night and Santa Claus is Coming to Town last year because we had more time to record, and then finished the album this year. So here it is, Joy to the World.
Now, favorite Christmas song, whether it's on that album or any other song?
I think it would be Oh Holy Night. I think there's something special about that song. We grew up singing it, and so I feel like there's just kind of a shift that happens. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm also like a big sucker for The Grinch, so those two are very contrasting songs in every single way, but that's kind of like my personality.
Last Christmas question I'll ask, since you said The Grinch, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
I love the original Grinch with Jim Carrey, but one of my more recent favorites is Arthur Christmas, the kids movie, Arthur Christmas. Have you seen it?
I don't know if I have.
You need to check it out. Like, just watch the grandpa in that movie, and you will reawaken your love for Christmas movies. If it wasn't already awakened.
My Christmas love for movies is already awakened.
Perfect.
It's been so awakened.
You're going to accentuate that process then.
My favorite movie would be Elf.
Oh, classic.
Classic. Classic Will Ferrell Elf, eh?
Absolutely.
Now, Been a Minute. So this is an album that you guys released, and it's the first album you released since 2019. So what's something that you did differently with this album than you might have done with past?
I think there was more sentiment on this album, and I think it also had I had 2 complexions to it. Being that it was a pandemic album, I don't really want to call it that, but it is. We did it in our home studio, which we actually built on our farm in our rehearsal space, which is really cool. So most of it was done remotely, but we were still talking with producers from LA and Nashville remotely, so that was very strange. But I think the 2 messages were really about reflecting on the last 2 years, embracing the difficulties, but then on the flip side, looking towards the hope of the future and not losing sight of the positive. So I think those 2 were like general themes that ran through it.
See, this is why I asked that question, because I always love hearing the meaning behind albums, because sometimes they can be so sentimental. And given the year that we had, 2020, it's been a minute. Let's just say that.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
Was there a more appropriate title than that? Like, we were like, this kind of has to be the single right now because everybody's feeling it. So
Yeah, exactly. Now, I just want to list a couple accomplishments here before I get to my next question. So 46 million video and audio streams to date, multiple CCMA award nominations, Juno Award nominations, an SCMA, it's like a tongue twister, award wins, Born and Raised, Those Were the Nights, and Lost have been certified gold in Canada. I am running out of breath. So my question is, what is next on the bucket list for the Hunter Brothers?
next on the bucket list, Super Bowl? I mean, I'm not gonna say no if that comes up, right? I think like just continuing on like the journey, and whatever kind of transpires, you're just thankful for those experiences. You don't know what's coming, and if the last 2 years hasn't taught us that, then I don't know what will. So obviously any of the accomplishments are really exciting, but I think the most rewarding thing is hearing back that from fans your music is resonating, and knowing that that's connecting with people. And I think that why is so important, and not losing sight of that.
And that is a great answer on that one, Ty.
Thank you. Well, I just like really quickly, so on our Been a Minute video, we sang on a flat deck trailer to nobody because of the last 2 years, and we just needed to perform somewhere. And we got a message the other day that there was a little boy on the farm who was singing on his flat deck trailer after watching the video. I was like, that is why you do this. That is why you do this, because there's a kid somewhere who grows up and feels like they can relate to you. And I think every artist in this room has those people. It just looks different because we're different artists. So
and they grow up, and even sometimes they aspire to be like you. So they might aspire to be like a country singer or a hip hop singer or so on and so forth. But they essentially idolize you at the end of the day, right?
It gives them a voice, right? And whether that's music or whether that's just being confident in who they are, I think it's something that we get to do as artists, and it's one of the most amazing things. I think it surpasses any award that you can get.
That's the most rewarding part, is connecting with people like that.
It is, 100%.
And now, last question before I let you go. So I put up a poll on my Instagram to get a couple of questions from different fans that love all the nominations and all the artists that I've gotten to interview today. So one fan wrote in, his name was Christopher Palumbo, and he wants to know, Long Way to Love You. What is the story behind this one?
Interestingly enough, Long Way to Love You was typically introduced by my brother Dusty, who doesn't do a lot of talking because he's back behind the drums, but he's got like an insane vocal range. And so when he was dating his wife Suzanne at the time, it took him like 5 years to ask the question. So A, Long Way to Love You is very appropriate. But secondly, just the long distant drives. Like they had a long distant relationship, and so going between Saskatchewan and where she lived, which was Daysland, Alberta, the amount of drives that he took and caffeine to get you through a lot of like those classic lines really resonated. And so really it was a long way to love Suzanne. And it did resonate with all of us as well, but I think very specifically with his story.
It truly was a long way to love her, eh?
Long way, and a long time waiting. Like, I got married to my wife after a year. Boom, let's go. He was like 5 years. I was like, I can't do that. He thinks everything like very methodically over, and I kind of jump in with 2 feet. So
honestly, sometimes it's good to just jump all in rather than like wait.
I can't really live my life outside of that rhythm. So it's kind of who I am.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Ty, for joining me today on Country with Celine. It was so awesome chatting with you, and enjoy the rest of the CCMA weekend.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
I ain't in no hurry, take the